Good morning. It's Saturday. I'm in the office. You know what that means. The Saturday morning hustle. And today on the podcast, I'm going to give you some tough love. You know I like to be motivational. You know I like to be upbeat. You know I like to be positive. But you're going to have to hear some hard truths today about how your business has adapted, will continue to adapt, and what you need to do to be successful in 2021 because coronavirus, COVID-19 is still a part of our daily business lives. So going to give you some hard truths, going to call you out on some things that you're still doing wrong, and make sure your business is ready for 2021 to be successful. So that's what's going to happen on the Saturday Morning Hustle podcast today. Please go check it out. iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, the Anchor app, YouTube, anywhere you find great podcasts for the hard truth about what you're doing wrong with your business in 2021 because of COVID-19. All right, here we go. Good morning. It's Saturday. I'm in the office. You know what that means. The Saturday Morning Hustle podcast. Outworking the competition while they're still asleep. Today, we're going to have some hard truths. We're going to tell you some things you're doing wrong. I'm going to give you some things to work on because COVID-19 is still a part of our business lives. It has not gone away. There's vaccine here. Things are changing, but the public is expecting you as a business owner, decision maker, as an entrepreneur, as a person that they're doing business with, to have caught up to what's happening. You've had a year to figure this out. Now you have to be operating in what you would call the new normal. So the patience, the leeway they were giving you, we understand that you don't know what else is going on, and so we don't know what to do as well. That is all gone. So if you're a business owner, decision maker, if you're still limping through the process of making your business different to adapt and adjust because of COVID-19 limitations, because of mask, because of social distancing, because of not having normal operating hours, et cetera, there are no more excuses. You have excuses. Your free pass is over. It's been a year. You now need to have made the changes in your business and be good at it. Be executing at a high level, at the level of expectation of your audience, not simply getting by and hoping that they'll forgive you for some things because you're not sure about COVID-19. What you are sure about is it's been here a year. It's not going away soon. Even with the vaccine, it's much slower than you anticipated. And even once it gets into a place where we feel good about vaccines and control of the disease, there's still going to be things that stick around. And a lot of these are very simple execution ideas, and you should be doing them. And if you're not now, you're failing your audience. Your audience will go somewhere else. They'll find someone else, another way to buy the product or service if it is hard to do business with you, if it's not convenient, if they don't feel safe. So you have to do these things now. Now, the next question you're going to tell me is, but I don't know what to do. I call BS on that. Another hard truth for you, another bit of tough love, is that you do know what to do because your competitors have figured it out. Other people in other industries have figured it out. People are writing articles every day. People are putting blog posts up. People are making videos like this. My business podcast, we had to create a podcast playlist of just COVID-19 episodes because we did so much conversation about what your business should be doing in order to adapt, change for COVID-19. We did so many videos, we did so many podcasts on the Golden Group Neo Marketing podcast about COVID-19. We had to create a playlist to keep them all in order because we did so many. So there are a ton of resources, most of them free, plenty of them access for you. There's a ton of examples of people in your industry, what they're doing that's being successful, not necessarily spending giant times of money, but by taking the time and effort to make changes, to train their staff, to make the commitment to their audience, to ask their audience what they appreciate, what they don't, what they're looking more for, and to engage at that high level of going to outperform the competition as opposed to simply limping by because COVID-19. So number one bit of advice I'm going to give you today is look at what your competitors are doing. This seems very simple, right? If you're going to run a business, you have to at least reach up and live to the same expectation of the people you directly compete with. So whatever widget you're selling, the other people that sell a widget similar to yours, whatever they have done that's been successful for them, for COVID-19 transactions to do business with their audience, to make it possible, whether it's brick and mortar, whether it's online, delivery, whatever they have done. You have to at least reach up and live up to that expectation. If you can't do that, you're going to get steamrolled the same way you would pre-COVID, which is they're just a better place to do business than you, and we're going to do that. The excuse, the honeymoon period of COVID-19 is over. So number one, you have to live up to at least your competitors. Number two, steal their ideas. It's how it is. The business happens all the time because we take ideas from each other. There's nothing super exclusive about the plexiglass dividers, the stand here, don't stand here, the hours of operation, the whatever service that they've added to their website or to a mobile device in order to get deliveries or online orders, etc. All those things, they're out there. They're not secrets. You can do the same thing that they're doing. If you're not willing to do it, then you're not willing to compete when you're not willing to win. That's how it is. Your competition will overtake you, and your audience will go somewhere else if you don't do that. And these 2 points, I'm going to combine these two into a third bit of advice here. Don't do the minimum. And I'm seeing this a lot of standing for the cash register, and there are X's on the floor to stand on, but they are literal X's with tape. That was fine in March of last year, in April of last year. It is not fine anymore. You hand-drawn notes, hand-drawn signs, scribbling on the door or on a sign about what to do, wear a mask, hours of operation, etc. Websites that have not been updated, social media that's not at least conveying your hours of operation, a way of doing business, online options if there are opportunities for you. All of those minimum things have to be done. If you still have hand-drawn signs and tape X's on your floor, you are failing, and your place looks like crap. And again, we're not giving you the leeway because we don't know what's going to happen. We do. Your competitors are doing better. There are plenty of places you can go. You can Google, you can search for a sign shop, for a local print shop. There are plenty of people in your neighborhood, in fact, small businesses in your community that you need to be supporting anyways, that you can spend a little bit of money on some signage, on some things for the floor, on dividers, on other physical items in order to help people with traffic flow or social distance spacing, or at least the coming in and out, wearing a mask, and the other expectations. The city county health department, no matter where you are in the world, your city, if it's big enough, or at least your county and every state has a health department that are giving away free resources. Their website have resources. They're providing resources. The thing you can download, you can print out, you can take to a print shop and have printed. You don't have to design it yourself. You don't have to be a graphic designer. You don't even have to have a printer to get these signs made, to get temporary menus, to even the things on the floor and things for the exterior. All these things can be done at any local print shop or sign shop. So pull out your search engine and find a local sign shop, a local print shop, a local design resource to help you with that. You have to reach minimums. The idea of just handwriting notes and putting tape X's on the floor makes you look cheap, makes you look like you're not really trying, and I don't trust you enough as the public to also clean and follow the other protocols necessary for COVID-19 if you won't take at least that basic step. So have some pride in your work, have some pride in your workspace, have some pride in your presentation. Your physical space needs to be up to par with any other physical space in any other business in your local city. Your website has to be up to par with other websites for other businesses in your community. Your social media should be utilized for immediate, front of mind, day to day. This is what's happening today. This is what happens weekdays. This is what happens weekends. These are adjustments in our hours. These are delivery options for you. These are things we can do and can't do, etc. So get up to the level of the competition and other businesses around you. Engage other businesses to provide you materials or help you. If you can't still figure this out, and you're listening to this podcast, you've already made the first step in the right direction. Listen to my other podcasts that'll tell you how things to do things, but reach out to your local chamber, reach out to your Better Business Bureau, reach out to your city county health department, reach out to any business organization you have, anything where other business owners are, and have discussions with them about how their business is changing, the tools, the technology, etc., that they've put into place, because the public has ran out of their patience. And if they can't do business with you because you are still afraid of doing business in a COVID-19 world, COVID-19 is not going away overnight. You have to come up to that standard or you will go out of business. I don't want you to go out of business. So this is a little bit of tough love because I want you to be better at it. So again, steal ideas from other people, live up to the same level as all your competitors, see what other people are doing. Even if they're not in your industry, you can take ideas from them, your city, county health, state health departments, online resources. Hit any search engine, look for COVID-19 for retail, COVID-19 for restaurant, COVID-19 for service industry, COVID-19 for manufacturing. Anything like this will bring you ideas, examples, and things that are doing. There are government resources that you can download or that you can go get in an office somewhere for signage, etc. Also training your staff. Training your staff to not just go through these steps and participate in the protocols of mask and cleaning and using the shields and all these other items, but training your staff to have the patience and understanding to not just meet the audience halfway, but go further, give more than you expect from the audience. That's what service and customer service is all about. And it may make their job harder. It may make their job weird to do. It may make it more difficult. They may have to clean more often. They may have more steps than they usually do. All of these things we all understand are happening. We've been giving people patience on having the right attitude and being willing to meet us 50-50 as a consumer. That is over now. So your staff has to be trained. They have to understand the corporate culture and the value of extending the experience, the customer service. You got to be like Chick-fil-A. You got to go and meet them in the drive-thru line where they want to. You got to do things right. You got to perform 100%. You got to put everything in the bag every time. And when they say thank you, you got to say my pleasure, because that's how things get done and how people appreciate the experience, and they'll come back to you. And the idea of, well, I had to change because of COVID-19 or because of some kind of other limitation on us in 2021, that goes by the wayside if your staff is trained up and they have the attitude and the tools necessary to execute the way the audience wants. That's the whole basis of business. But I'm still seeing so many businesses hold on to that. We're going to do a temporary fix. We're going to halfway do something. We're going to put something basic in place and then wait for this to go away. That's the wrong attitude. And if it hasn't killed your business yet, it will eventually. So go further. Train your staff, give them the tools, reach out to your audience where they are and ask them what they would appreciate, what they want to see more of, what they're willing to give you as far as patience. But I guarantee you right now that patience has run out. They expect you to do your job, be a professional, and live up to the level of their expectations. If not, your competitors will, and they'll take that business right out from underneath you. This is how it is. So these are things you can do. These are improvements you can make. Continue to ask your audience. Take polls on your website. Take polls on your social media. Ask people as they come through the door. Put a section on their receipt if it's an email or some other digital transaction. Find a way to ask one or two simple questions about what did you appreciate? What would you like to see us do differently? Continue to focus on customer service, the customer experience, the value of what you're doing. And then understand that all the changes you've made for this year up to this point, changing your website, adding online, all the things, the physical things in your physical space, the signage, all of that, it's going to stick around. So create value from it. Create good, positive value from the changes you've made, the investments you've made, up your training, and then make this part of your business model moving forward. Why? Because it is part of your business model moving forward. It just is what it is. Now, there may become a time where we don't wear a mask or do things of that nature as much in the future, but we're still going to be, people will still be wearing masks. People will be social distancing. People will be having expectation of, if your business went from brick and mortar to online only, they may want to keep you online only. There may be value for you to stay online only. You may be hosting virtual events instead of in-person events. The thought process early on was, as quickly as possible, we'll get back to in-person events. But hold on. Maybe your audience doesn't want it to go back as quickly as possible. Maybe they like how it is. Maybe they like the convenience of online. Maybe the virtual events are making more sense to them. You still are going to have a portion of your audience that are going to be skeptical about going out in public, etc., for a good period of time. So again, let your audience dictate how you move. Let your audience tell you what to do, what your competition is doing, and somewhere in between what they're doing, what your audience wants, and what you're capable of doing, because you've put the work in introspectively, you've invested in the technology, in the equipment, and the training, etc. You can come to a place where you can offer product or service delivery at an expectation that your consumer wants. It's that simple, yet too many of you are still missing that point. So that's why I'm having this conversation with you today. Stop missing the point. Stop thinking about what it means to you. Put your consumer first. Put your audience first. Understand your competition is outworking you. If you have handwritten signs and tape on the floor, up your game. Compete. Don't just get by until coronavirus goes away, but actually become successful, create a little bit of profitability, because at some point, something else is going to happen again, and we're going to need those profits to help us through those periods of time. So we need to be profitable now. You do that by showing people you give a crap, that you're not doing the minimum, and that you're willing to do what is necessary to keep their business. That's simple. A little bit of tough love for you. I hope it wasn't too tough. I hope it was very beneficial for you. It was very informative, and I hope you got a lot out of it. It's like every Saturday. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you guys being part of the podcast. I want to hear from you. Want to hear more of. What do you want to talk about on the Saturday Morning Hustle? What did you get out of this that you found to be valuable? Is there anything that I said today that you think is out of line that you want to discuss that maybe I could take up on another issue of the podcast? I'll do that too. I love the feedback. Please let me know how you found the podcast. Leave a rating, leave a review, all of the good stuff that comes with that. I appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week on the Saturday Morning Hustle. Until next week, be good, be successful. Do not do the minimum. Do as much as you can. Good luck.